Okay, so I took my spar that I had built and I put the holes in here. And I've got two size holes, 1.5 basically, and 2.25, which are fairly close to what in scale what I'll be using from the real Bugatti. And I probably put these, I see now, which is a mistake, I did it on this back side here when I laid it out, a little bit close on the bottom side here, so I probably need to push those up. And this one here is in the center. So lessons learned are, number one, when I'm cutting this on my saw, make sure I have a fine tooth blade, because I've really chewed up the wood right here. I wasn't thinking of that. And this is the outside that you'll see, and this is the imperfect side of the plywood. Duh. So that was another mistake. So, you know, that's part of prototyping, is you kind of learn as you go and see your mistakes, so that when you go do the real thing, you're going to do a better job. So I'll be sure to mark those things down, so when I actually start building the real spars, I will get those two things correct. But in terms of torsional stiffness, I can barely tell that I've lost anything by putting the holes in this masterpiece right here. So I'm definitely going to forget about this doubler. I can use that for my next spar cap if I want to try doing another example. This is just a little bit less than 7 inches, and this represents about the thickest part of my chassis frame, or spar as I call it, which ends up being about 7.25 inches. And I should have looked at the plans before I arbitrarily picked 7 inches and then just milled it down to what I could get straight out of the table saw. So again, I should have spent just a few minutes to look at that, but I think this is going to be close enough to let me know. And the entire chassis frame varies. So it goes from a maximum of about 7.25 inches down to maybe 2.5 to 3 inches, probably more like 2.5 inches at the narrowest point. So this will be close enough. And so it's time to start doing the carbon fiber and see how this works. I'm going to do the back side first, and I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put 3 layers on here. I'm going to go 0 to 90, and then I'm going to go 45-degree angle, and then I'm going to go 0 to 90 again. And all of these, the carbon fiber will be laid up on the inside and then come up over the edge, both on the top and the bottom. So I've got to elevate this off of my work table so that the edge of the carbon fiber can just hang down. And so that's my next step, is to build just a little bit of a jig here where I can keep this up off of the table, and yeah, get my 3 layers of carbon fiber. I'm still trying to decide whether I should go, since I'm going less thickness, maybe I'll go 4. Maybe I'll go 2 0 to 90s and 2 at 45 and just alternate them. And I'll put some Dacron cloth on, which is for peel ply. And since this is the inside of the chassis right here, I'll have cross members that go into it. And by having the Dacron cloth, or the peel ply, which I peel off once it's all dry, it leaves a surface that's easy to add additional layers to. If I didn't do that, then you end up with just a very smooth, glassy type of epoxy surface, and you can't stick to that directly, so you would have to sand it down and make it really rough. So with the peel ply, it makes it rough enough that you can just go ahead and just add more layers of carbon fiber to it. So when I put cross members into it and just lap the carbon fiber on it, I can do it just anywhere that I'm going to need it to strengthen up the chassis. And such as like where the foot pedals are, and right behind where I sit as a driver, and then also in the very back as part of the engine compartment. So that makes it really nice. So I think that's it. Let's get to work.